Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint-Germain family. PSG versus FC Nantes at the Parc De Princes. Just a few days before, obviously, the tough Champions League fixture versus Dortmund. But I hope that all the PSG players are still prepared for this game and have the mental strength to win this game. Lucho will either go two ways in this game, alright? Either he will pretty much half discard this game, similarly to how he did versus Strasbourg before the Milan game. What he did versus Strasbourg was he lined up a lot of reserve players so that he kept the best players ready for the upcoming Champions League game. For example, Soler started over Ashraf Hakimi. Gonçalo started over Randal Colomani. Kangin Lee started over Ousmane Dembélé, all in that game versus Strasbourg. And there's a high chance Lucho will do the same thing here, where he will drop some players so that they're 100% ready for the Dortmund game. But I really don't know. And it's very hard to guess when it comes to Luis Enrique. He's a very unpredictable manager, much more unpredictable than the likes of Poch and Galtier that we had previously. So Lucho might play the same lineup that he will play versus Dortmund. I mean, that's what he tried to do in the previous game versus Le Havre. But obviously, Barcola getting that red card destroyed a bit of what we wanted to see and what Lucho wanted to see from that team. And that's why I would have two lineups predicted for this game. Obviously, the first one, which is a 100% preparation for the Dortmund game, would obviously be Arnaud Tenas in goal because Gianluigi Donnarumma is suspended for 2 games in Ligue and Uber Eats. Obviously, this non-game and the Lille game. Right back, Ashraf Hakimi, 2 centre-backs. Marquinhos should be back and could potentially start. I mean, we have seen Marquinhos coming back from a small injury and starting immediately. So I see Marquinhos, Skriniar, Lucas left back. And then in the midfield, you have Ugarte, you have Vitinha, you have Kangin Lee. And up in attack, you have Barcola, you have Mbappe, you have Colomani. With Dembele obviously suspended for the Dortmund game. Or you could go with the reserve lineup. The reserve lineup would look something like this. Obviously, still Arnaud Tenas in goal. You start maybe Soler as the right back. You start Mukiele as the left back. You could potentially start still Marquinhos to get him into shape and game rhythm and so on, alongside the Skriniar, or you put in a Danilo, especially after his really good performance versus Le Havre, which puts even tougher competition for those centre-back spots. Then in midfield, I mean, there isn't that much we could change. We just have to play Ugarte, Vitinha, Kangin Lee. There aren't that many question marks about that. And then up in attack, you could give Asensio his first start, so he comes back into game rhythm, and we have him as a super sub for the Dortmund game. And Mbappe obviously will start in any predicted lineup I'll be making, and I still predict Barcola to be the left winger. So the biggest change would be in defense if he wants to play a bit of a reserve defense or the starting defense. Obviously, we recently got great news regarding Warren Zaire-Emery, and there's a potential. He may play versus Dortmund, and who knows, he might be in the squad for this FC Nantes game, but it's still a question mark over his availability. Obviously, both him and Marquinhos today completed a full collective training session with the squad, so there aren't that many question marks regarding them too. It's all about, do we want to take a risk, especially when it comes to Warren Zaire-Emery, because it was a serious injury. Just a miracle how he returned so quickly for me. But I'm really intrigued to watch what I should have watched versus Le Havre, which is the Barcola, Mbappe, and Dembele or Colomani attack with Kangin Lee as the offensive 8, nearly as a 10. According to Ligue, Kylian Mbappe, Barcola, and Dembele will be Paris Saint-Germain's front 3 versus FC Nantes. I mean, we saw the goal they created early on, even when we were 10 men down, but they couldn't obviously do that consistently for the entire game. We mostly just counter-attacked versus Le Havre and defending a bit compact. But I'm really excited to see Barcola starting on that left wing and his combinations with Kylian Mbappe. And I said, Randal Colomani, he looks to be the starter for the Dortmund game. Will he start this game so he's ready, so Lucho knows what he wants to see? Or does he obviously start the much better player in Ousmane Dembélé? And that's why I'm predicting this non-game, not the biggest victory. I see it as a 2-0 or possibly a 3-0, hopefully. Just a clean result. You get the 3 points. Hopefully you get a clean sheet, especially for Arnaud Tenas' sake. I mean, I would love Arnaud Tenas to keep a second clean sheet in the league. So I'm very excited to watch Arnaud Tenas ball once again. Never been this excited to watch a goalkeeper because, but he's different. He got the sauce. I've never seen a goalkeeper get the sauce like him. And well, that has been it. If you have any questions about the upcoming game between Paris Saint-Germain and FC Nantes, let me know in the comments down below. But apart from that, that's been your boy PSG, and as usual, allez Paris.